Shang-Chi e a Lenda dos Dez Anéis chegam aos cinemas agora e eu conversei com o Simu Liu, autor chinês criado no Canadá, que agora está entrando de cara como protagonista desse novo filme do universo Marvel. E a gente bateu um papo sobre representatividade, sobre como foi trabalhar com lendas como Tony Leung e Michelle Yeoh e sobre como ele quer fazer parte dessa minha estante aí atrás.
I just have one question, Roberto. Am I on that bookshelf yet, or am I have I not earned that right?
Let me ask you this. Shang-Chi, it feels like a real, genuine wuxia Chinese martial arts movie with, the fantastic and mythological elements blended with martial arts. So how is it working with Destin to infuse the Western elements and make it a Marvel movie without losing the cultural roots?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's really a testament to Destin. He is such a thoughtful filmmaker, and he's so incredible at telling a small and intimate story with the backdrop of this massive, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Marvel epic. And I think we pay homage to a lot of different influences in Chinese martial arts and in martial arts in general. So we have wuxia, like you mentioned, but we also have, our bus sequence, is so reminiscent of, a lot of the Jackie Chan era movies, which
Yes.
are very, very creative in their action design. And then you have, our sequence in the very beginning, kind of reminiscent of Hero, directed by Zhang Yimou. Just
Yeah.
really amazing set pieces. Yeah, I think, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say it's some of the best action in the MCU, and I can't wait for people to see it.
So, on that note, I remember when Black Panther opened the Marvel Universe to a whole chunk of the audience
Mhm.
that finally felt represented. And Shang-Chi has the potential to break a similar barrier. So,
Mhm.
was a representation a major concern while you guys were shooting the movie?
Yes, absolutely. I think we wanted to do it right because we knew how much this movie would mean to so many people, myself included. And if you look back to the comic books of Shang-Chi from all the way back to the 1970s, you'll see that at times there are parts of those comics and those stories that wouldn't necessarily translate well in
Yeah.
2021. And what we were able to do with the cooperation of Kevin at Marvel and Jonathan Schwartz, our incredible creative producer, is that we were able to infuse this modern day story with elements of true Asian American culture. And I think that's why in the first 20 minutes of our movie you see our heroes at a karaoke bar. I think
Yeah.
you get to see what that culture is like and what our experience is like today, not just in the context of martial arts and fighting, but just in what we experience every day. And I think that's a big part of why that is because first of all, Destin Daniel Cretton is Asian American. Dave Callahan, who it was one of our screenwriters, is Asian American, and we have so many Asian artists, actors, actresses in the cast who are able to provide their experiences and perspectives as well. And so what you get is an incredibly authentic movie that's a celebration of culture, and we're certainly all very excited to share our culture with the world.
Cool. I know that comic book fans, they usually get all fired up whenever something gets translated from the page to the screen. So did you have a list of do's and don'ts regarding your portrait of Shang-Chi? Do you miss the headband and the bright red kimono?
I do not miss the headband and the bright red kimono. So I will say right now, if you're looking for a comic accurate version of that suit, you are going to be disappointed. I was never a fan of that costume, I'm sorry to say, but I think what we have, which is an all new, all modern suit,
Yeah.
is pretty incredible. I would say the list of do's and don'ts. I would say the only thing that we really were very adamant to carrying over from the comics, I would say two things. The first being Shang-Chi is supposed to be one of the greatest hand-to-hand fighters in the
Okay.
world. So I think we definitely, wanted to keep that. And then the second is that, his relationship to his father figure is very critical to the character. And so, Destin, managed to tell this incredibly intimate story about a essentially a boy and his father and his family that's been torn apart by tragedy and grief and mourning, and to tell a story about loss rather than just making it about the fighting, right?
Yeah, that's what I really was
Hmm.
surprised with. I hate asking how do you feel questions, but I have to ask that. So
Please.
you got to spar with both Tony Leung and Michelle Yeoh. So how was it sharing a dojo with them?
Oh my gosh. First of all, great question. I I was so excited. I mean, it was I was the annoying kid that was like, we would, be doing our action, and then at the moment they yelled cut, I would be like, so when you were on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like, what were you thinking when we were shooting this scene? I loved that scene where it was you and Zhang Ziyi, and you just kept using the different weapons and they got bigger, and then the Green Destiny kept cutting the other weapons in half. And I mean, I was like, constant, right? Because I was just such a big fan of both of them, and they were both very, very patient with me. I would say both Tony and Michelle move so incredibly well. They both have roots in Chinese martial arts epics, and that grace has only become more fine-tuned with age, and it was just such an incredible honor to share the screen. But what I was most surprised with is just how approachable they were offset. I found them incredibly easy to talk to and very friendly and very kind, and Michelle in particular, just a goofball. You would never know from the roles that she's taken on that she just loves to sing and dance in between takes and will just spontaneously break out into whatever. She's just such a joy to be around.
Simu, thank you so much, man. It was excellent, and hopefully we can do this again in the future.
Wow.